Just take a look at Sam Darnold's career. He starts with the Jets. He eventually, I'm not going to say he flames out the 4 years. They don't choose to re-sign him. He goes with the Panthers, plays bad. Everybody thinks he sucks. Because he was never, ever in a position where he had a good head coach, good offensive teammates, just a good team around him. So what this shows is if you put Jalen Hurts in the exact same situation as Sam Darnold was in, as far as not having any help around you, he would be considered a bust. The term bust, there are some quarterbacks who just can't play, like Jamarcus Russell. But the term bust in the NFL is a lot determined on where you go. If Russell Wilson back in the day, you saw how he looked when he left Seattle. If he wouldn't have gotten drafted by Seattle and some other franchise who didn't lean into his skill sets, today we would think of Russell Wilson as a bust. So the term bust in the NFL, I think needs to get re-looked at. Because being a bust is all based on where you start. Most quarterbacks can't overcome too much controversy in a franchise. Don't have a good O-line, don't have good receivers. There's some quarterbacks who can overcome it, but like 95% of the league can't. So with that being the case, but let's look at the timeline. Boom. Starts with the Jets, doesn't look good. Everybody thinks he's a bust. Goes to the Panthers, everybody thinks the same thing. He's a bust, doesn't look good. Eventually he lands with Kyle Shanahan. He's a backup under Kyle Shanahan. Kyle Shanahan speaks glowingly of him, says he's a tremendous quarterback. Then what do you know? He becomes the Vikings starting quarterback. The Vikings make the biggest mistake in franchise history. Do you know how terrible it has to feel waking up as a Vikings fan, knowing you could have had Sam Darnold and J.J. McCarthy may be your starting quarterback for the foreseeable future? How absolutely fucking devastating. Let's take a look at a Jalen Hurts. He starts with the Jets, have no help around him. He then goes to the Panthers. We never would have heard of Jalen Hurts again. He just would have been considered a bust. There's so many quarterbacks that I can think of in this scenario. So I think there's three classes to quarterbacks. There's the Pat Mahomes, Josh Allen level, where you're going to succeed no matter where you're at. You're just a fucking elite talent. Then there's the middle level, like the Sam Darnolds, I would put the 40 Brock Purdy, where they're very good quarterbacks. They can win a championship, but they need help. They can't overcome things. And honestly, even if you look at the Chiefs, when even this year when they didn't have elite talent around them, Pat Mahomes looked a little bit different. So the NFL is different than any other sport with buzz. I feel like in the NBA, if you're going to be a good player, you'd be a good player anywhere. You'd be better in certain situations. But in the NFL, being considered good and terrible can sometimes just be all determined on where you land. If you land with the Jets, more than likely, unless you're just one of the best prospects of all time, you're going to be a bust. If you land with the Eagles, I can't even put the Vikings in it. Well, this is that third tier. J.J. McCarthy, I think, is this third tier where you just suck, where you would pretty much suck wherever you are, and it would take a real big lift to make you better. But the overall point in what I'm trying to say is Sam Darnold has proved that being a bust is just based on where you're drafted. If you have okay talent, this is why Mendoza, watch out going for the Raiders. Watch out the Jets. He could be a good talent because I don't think he's an elite talent like the Pat Mahomes or the Josh Allen. I think he's more in the Sam Darnold area. So he needs to watch about where he gets drafted because it could affect the rest of his life.